experiences of working with her have been wonderful. She goes above and beyond for patients and staff, and not only her staff, but also the staff in the clinic, and she's always very helpful with getting stuff done for patients, trying to find a little cost for medications for patients, getting copay cards for us. If the medication doesn't work, she'll let me know what medication does work. She's always gone above and beyond. Like, she is really dedicated to patient care and taking care of people in the community and outside of our community. I mean, our community as a whole is pretty big. You know, we see patients from all over Pratt, Kinsley, Dodge, Coldwater, Medicine Lodge, and so she works with a whole bunch of different people in a whole bunch of different communities.
Patient assistance, I mean, that's one thing that's not always necessarily done at the pharmacy, but Julie has always taken that on for people who cannot afford their medications. She's always sat down with them, gone through information, filled out applications, checked up on applications. Medicare Part D, so she's now a licensed insurance agent. That was not the case for many years. She was doing that out of her own time just to help people ensure that they had the best plan that they needed for the area. That is something that is always needed, and that's definitely not changing. And last year, I think she met with almost 300 people.
I think something that people need to know about Julie is that she will fight for people and help people out the best that she can. I know she works tirelessly, lots of long hours, especially during certain times of year, to help people get good health care and good coverages. And I know, personally speaking, I had an appendectomy several years ago, and that evening the hospital said I could go home if I could get pain meds. And they were waiting for us when we got to town later in the evening, you know, after hours. And I know that I'm not the only case of that. The small town willing to help people get their medications when they need it, and to make sure that people are getting the best service and the best care that they can.
So Julie is fiercely loyal to the community is one of the first things I would say. And to be honest with you, I just think she's just a fiercely loyal person in general. But then, you know, within the community, making sure kids have the things they need at the school. I don't know how many different boards she's on. I know of at least two, if not more than that, and you know, and I don't even know her professional board she might be on, even within the pharmaceutical world. But she is someone who, you know, in Haviland, we have a soccer league, and the pharmacy, you know, we're going on year 6 or 7, and I think they've sponsored every single year at the highest level, you know, which is sponsoring a field, and so she's the type, at least in my experience, where if you go and ask, she's going to deliver.
I really had the pleasure of starting to work at the pharmacy when it was a pretty young business, and Julie was the only pharmacist, so she was there all the time. I got to watch her interact with patients and see how she never stopped until she had exhausted every possible resource to get a patient what they needed. So she really taught me how to go the distance to provide what our patients need.
She brought in a lady that we had no idea who she was, that was, honestly, I think she had reached out to say, like, I don't think I can take care of my kids, and what does that look like to help put them into the foster care system. And she ultimately moved that lady and her son to our community and helped her find employment and helped her sort of get established and out of the situation that she was in and back up on her feet. And she went and solicited food and clothing and house donations and to help furnish a small apartment, and brought her here and helped her get a job, and ultimately, I think, provided her a vehicle to go back to where she had come from, but went back stable and secure and where she could take care of herself and take care of her children.
What is she like at home?
Drinking coffee.
what would be an example of something that she's done for your teachers?
Well, I think it was this year. She had a massage person come in, and I don't remember the previous years, but I remember that was what she did this year.
Okay. Did your teachers appreciate that?
I think so.
Yeah.
In my estimation, she's cool as a cucumber. So one little incident we had, not an incident, just an event, we had actually kids involved in an out-of-town activity, and we had a relief pharmacist coming in that afternoon, and Julie was pretty fresh with us back in the pharmacy, but yet she was picking up the computer and doing things remarkably well. And we slipped out and pretty much left her on her own with this pharmacist. And yeah, I know I had to field a few phone calls and help her walk through a couple things. But again,
She did great.
it probably an extremely stressful situation, but you wouldn't be able to tell by how she responded and took care of business. So
You were very deserving of this award, okay? You were very uncomfortable right now sitting in the audience, and I hope no one's looked your way to see the look on your face, but it's with great pride I get to say, suck it up, Buttercup. You deserve this award. You deserve to have this video made about you. You're deserving now. You would be deserving in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years from now. The fact that you're getting recognized now is just speaks volumes to what you do. And I'm very proud.
I think this is a tremendous honor that to be awarded one person in Kansas, and like was mentioned, that this is typically to someone later in their career. For her to be so young, under 40, and to win an award of this caliber, I think is a tremendous testament to the person that she is as just a person, but also as a pharmacist and how she serves our community.
I can't imagine there's someone more deserving. So everyone would be better having a Julie in their life, is how I put it.
It has been a true honor and a pleasure to get to work with Julie, and you really are deserving of this award. Congratulations.
we're very proud of her, obviously, for all of her accomplishments, as well as this major accomplishment. Couldn't happen to a better person, better individual,
Better pharmacist.
and a better pharmacist. Yeah, she's extremely competent in all of her efforts, and so
Congratulations.
we're just proud to know that we had crossed paths, back in the day, and that she stuck with it, and she's achieved a ton.
Congratulations, I'm so proud.
I think every husband would probably, especially on camera, have all sorts of nice things to say about their wife, but she really is an amazing woman that never quits, always puts others ahead of herself, and she's not driven by emotion and feelings, but she's driven by her obedience to the Lord, and she'd do anything for anybody. And I'm shocked every day that I get to be married to her.
Good job.